Good morning, students. This is our third lab, and today we are going to see the implementation of linear regression. First, I will tell you what you have to submit. So, you know that you have to submit two PDFs. First one will be a theory about that practical, and second one would be the PDF of your Jupyter notebook, right? So, in theory part, you have to write this much things, starting with the algorithm. So, this is a practical about linear regression. So you will write linear regression. What is your problem statement? What you are doing in this experiment? So in today's experiment, I am going to demonstrate how to predict a price of a house based on the given features. So my problem statement would be predict house price and so on. Then dataset use. Okay, so today I am going to use this King County house sale dataset. Let me show you that. Okay, so I will write house sales in King County, USA. So that will come in dataset use. Then dataset URL. So you just paste the URL of this dataset. Okay, I am downloading this dataset from Kaggle website. So I will be pasting this URL here. Then next one is team member 1, team member 2, your roll numbers, then experiment date. Okay, so for this experiment, the experiment date would be this today's date and submission date. This is the actual submission date. Okay, then in theory part you have to write. Okay, so you have to write 2-3 paragraphs about the algorithm that we are considering. So you will be writing a theory about linear regression. Then libraries and function use. Okay, so here we are using linear regression library, right? sklearn linear model library, and we will be using different function. So write one line description about those libraries and functions. Then you have to talk about the dataset that you are using. Okay, so this explanation will be available on this home page. So from there you can get the explanation about the dataset. So here we have a description about this dataset. This dataset contains house sale price of King County, which includes Seattle City. It includes homes sold between this date. Okay, and then how many columns are there? What are the attributes? Do we have missing values under certain columns? Okay, you have to talk about that. Okay, that explanation will come under dataset explanation. Okay, then how you are splitting training and testing. Okay, whether you have performed cross validation or not, that explanation will come under fourth point. Then performance evaluation. Okay, here you will write the performance of your model. Okay, in terms of accuracy or sum of squared error. Okay, r squared error. Okay, so you will be performing different experiments. So you can create a table here. So experiment number 1. So if in experiment number 1, if you have used only one feature, then in that experiment what was the accuracy? Okay, in experiment number 2, suppose you have considered 4 features. Okay, you write the names of those 4 features and what was the accuracy. Okay, so you can write a table here. Then conclusion. Finally you conclude what you have learned in this experiment. Okay, so this will be your submission. I will be sharing this template with you. Okay, so any doubt regarding submission? All right, so we'll start with our first
So do
yes,
we need to use the same data set or we can use any?
you can use any. That's why your problem statement will vary, your data set explanation will also vary. We have a number of data sets are available.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, now I decided my problem statement to predict house prices. Okay, so I knew this data set, so I directly search with that keywords, and I'm interested in dataset from Kaggle website. So I will search for that. Okay, so this is the home page of that. Now you can directly search for the dataset from Kaggle website. So you go to Kaggle website and you are interested in doing linear regression. So you search for linear regression. Okay, and from here also you can get a dataset. Actually, I found out this dataset by following these steps only. I searched for linear regression and somewhere I found that dataset. Okay, car price prediction. So I can use this dataset also. Okay, so likewise you can get a dataset. Now first thing would be to understand this dataset. Okay, what data this dataset is storing. So here we have house sale prices of King County. Okay, of this period. Okay, so there will be some houses sold, right? Okay, this data set is containing the prices of those sold houses. Then it is in storing different parameters like date of sale, then the id of that sale. Okay, this will be a unique identifier, and here this key is also shown. That means this is a unique identifier of this data set. Then date of sale, then price. Okay, the actual price of the sale, then number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, then okay, so more, so we can infer that if more bedrooms are there, that means price will be more, right? Here we can get different insights of this attribute, like do we have a missing value in this column? No, 0. Then valid, okay, we have 21,000 valid tuples here. Then bathrooms, valid invalid means what? It is a number of bedroom. Okay, so we may have erroneous data. For example, we may have string data in this column, so that will be a invalid entry in this column. Okay, so here all are valid data, 100% valid data. Then square feet living. Okay, so we can infer here that if more square feet living is there, then more will be the price. Okay, so they may have a positive relationship. We will cross check that using some plots. The number of floors, waterfront, does that house has waterfront? Okay, so is it facing some, means what we can say, is it facing lake or some seashore? Then view, condition, yes. Okay, so here we have a categorical data. So it is having condition in terms of numbers 1 2 3 4. So we don't know whether 5 is better or 1 is better. Okay, so that will be inferred from price. We'll see the relationship of condition with price. Then grade. Okay, so these are the different columns given. Okay, so from this analysis what we learned, there are different parameters which can decide the value of price, and there are some parameters or attributes which are irrelevant, like date of sale. Okay, or the id is not useful for us, right, for prediction of price. So we have to decide which parameters or which attributes we have to select for deciding the for prediction of the price. Okay, so let's do the analysis. So from here you can download this CSV file. Okay, so download button is here, or you can download from here also. I have already downloaded this data set. So I have that data set here. So the file name is kc_house_data.csv. CSV stands for comma separated values. Okay, now if I open that data set kc_house_data .csv in notepad, you can see that each value is separated with comma. The first two lines are the attributes of this data set, okay, id, date, price, bedrooms, bathrooms, square feet living. Okay, we have just seen the attributes and these are the actual values. Okay, so each value is separated with comma, so such file is known as comma separated value file. Okay, so we'll start the implementation. So I will open my Jupyter notebook. I will create a new notebook, so new Python 3. So I will not tell you the entire practical, but just how to create a model, how to do the data analysis, that I will tell you. Okay, so first thing I will write some theory about this practical. So for example, this is my experiment number 1. You can write a team details here. So this is theory part, so I will make it a heading. Okay, I will run it by pressing Ctrl Enter, or you can press this run button. So this is my heading. I will insert a new cell. Okay, then experiment number 1, I can write a team detail. Okay, then next thing is I have to read that CSV file. Okay, that is my input. So I have a function called read_CSV. Now this is defined in pandas library. Okay, so I have to import that. So import pandas as pd. Okay, as we'll rename that library. Okay, and this is a standard name that we give to pandas. Okay, similarly we may have to we may need numpy library, so I will import that also. Okay, these are the standard name that we give to numpy and panda. Okay, and so this read_CSV is defined in pd, and that returns a data frame. Okay, now what is data frame, that I will tell you later. So we have to read that file, so we have to provide a file name to that function, and the file name you can copy from here. So I am storing file name in file name variable. I will copy that. Okay, so just we will run this much code. Let's see where, yes, everything is fine. So if I just print a data frame, okay, so this is the actual values. Okay, so how many values are there? Around 21,000 rows are there and 21 columns. So we have already learned that there are 21 attributes. Okay, so this is the matrix that we are getting, 21,000 by 21 columns. Okay, so by saying df, okay, so what is data frame? Data frame is like a table. Okay, you are learning a DBMS, right? So the relation or a table. Okay, so here we have a data frame. So that data frame will have an attribute column, okay, and the actual values. If I want to print a particular column, so I have to use a square bracket and I will write attribute name, and if I run it I will get that particular column. Okay, and now it has printed the values of that id column, and if I do double square bracket, then I will get a column. Okay, I have now, if I write 2 square bracket I will get a column. If I write a single square bracket I will get a values. Okay, so now we have read that file. Now we have to do some analysis. Okay, we have directly tried to learn this data set from its home page, but we can do some analysis by using different Python commands. Okay, so I will insert new cell. Okay, I have the data frame. I can see the data, the 5 tuples, the 5 top tuples using head command. This will give me first 5 rows of this data frame. Okay, please note down this commands and this code. note down these commands in your register. We have imported the required libraries. Okay, this we have learned from this function, because our input file is the extension is .csv, so we require this function. This function is defined in pandas library, we have included that. Okay, we will be requiring numpy, so I have imported that also. I have written our file name in this variable, okay, and I have provided that to this function. Okay, now I am trying to get the insights of this data set, that's why I am doing some analysis. So I have executed this head function. Okay, now see the id, it is a unique identifier of that sale. This is the actual date of that sale. Okay, so see, this is a year, then month, the date. Okay, and I think this is timestamp. Then price, okay, it may be in a dollar. Yes, any doubt? Then number of bedrooms for that house, then bathrooms. Okay, here we have a fractional value. I don't know what is the significance of this fractional value. Maybe that may be a erroneous reading, or it may signify something. Then square feet living. Okay, so I think there will be a positive relationship between square feet living and the price. Okay, more the area, more the price, right? Then lot area, this is a square feet lot area. Then number of floors, waterfront. Okay, this is a binary value. Okay, 0 or 1. Does that house have a waterfront or not? Then view, grade. Okay, so we are trying to understand this data. So head function is done. Next, you write the functions that I am using. Understanding of this data is very important. Then you will get the meaning of this data. I can execute a describe function. From here I can get different meaningful data. For example, what is the mean value, what is the max value, what is the standard deviation of this data. Okay, as you can see, okay, mean and max. Okay, so bedrooms, the mean value is 0, max value is 33. Then number of bathrooms, mean value is 0, max value is 8. Okay, and we are getting a count. Now this count variable is very important. So if we have a missing value, then count will be less for that particular column. So I can utilize this count row of this describe function. Okay, so how I can utilize that? So I will take this and I can 0. Now this I location 0 will give me first row. Okay, if I execute this, now I am getting this first row actually. Okay, and as you can see, for every attribute I am having a same value. That means that there is no missing value here. Otherwise we have to do imputation, data imputation, that we will see in later practical. Okay, so here we don't have a missing value, so we need not to handle missing value. Okay, so getting the code, any doubt till now? What I am doing currently, I am doing data analysis. Okay, I am trying to understand the data that I have now. Okay, I will insert next. Okay, so this, so far we have executed this much code. Next, if I want to find whether there is missing value in particular column, what I can do, let's say we have, I think price column is there, right? Price column, yes. If I want to see whether price column has a null value or missing value, so I have an is null function, and is null will give me the rows which has a null values, but I am interested in sum of that. Okay, I will print this value. Okay, and the result is 0. Okay, so these are the two ways by which you can find out whether that column has null value or not, or missing value. Okay, so either you can use a describe function and do this. Okay, otherwise you can use isNull function and do the sum of that. You will get the number of missing fields. Okay, next. So we have learned about the data set. Okay, now let's do some analysis and let's find out which features we have to use for predicting a price. Okay, so for that we know that there should be relationship between the between these two attributes, price and the attributes that you are going to select. We have decided that square feet living is a better attribute for predicting a price. So let's consider a case of simple regression. So we'll do a simple regression using this attribute for predicting the house price. Okay, we'll do a simple regression, simple linear regression using this attribute for predicting the house price. So I will make it a heading. If I place 2/, it will become a subheading. Okay, so this is my main heading, this is my subheading. Okay, so I have to utilize this. Okay, let's see. So we'll see the correlation of this square feet living with the price. So I can use matplotlib. We have done this in yesterday, right? Pyplot. Are you writing the code with me? Write the code. Okay, so I have imported my matplotlib library, and here I will be using a scatter plot. Yesterday also we have done this scatter of. Okay, now we want x-axis. So what is my, tell me what is my independent variable and what is dependent variable. We have two attributes, square feet living and the price. What will be my independent variable?
Square feet living.
Yes, this is the independent variable. This is my predictor, and price is the response of that, right? Okay, so first parameter should be the x-axis value. So this is present in my data frame under square feet living attribute, right? Next, my dependent variable is data frame and it is present in this. Okay, and finally I will say plt dot show, and this is my scatter plot. Now it is visible that there is some relationship, positive relationship between these two variables. Yes, right? So with the increase in square feet living, my price is also increasing. I can write, okay, no need of that. Okay, so we have the relationship. Now we can proceed with the linear regression. Okay, so I will insert what I did. I made it marked down. Okay, then we know that my sklearn dot linear underscore models, from this import, what was the class name? Linear regression, right? I think I made a mistake somewhere. Linear models, I think there is a capital or small, so I will sklearn linear model. Okay, model, not models, linear model. Okay, I have that. Now cannot import name linear regression, capital R है क्या? Linear regression. Okay. Now, so we have total 21,000 records in our data set. Okay, but we will not be using entire data set for training. So we will be splitting our data set in training and testing. So for that we have a library called train underscore test underscore split. Okay, we have a library for this. So it is under model selection library. Okay, so let's import this. So you copy this. So this will be used for splitting our data set into two parts. So I will be importing this library. Import. Okay. Now the function here is train test split. Okay, so you can see a sample below. So this is how you have to split. Okay, so you give your x and y. Okay, so independent variable and the dependent variable. How much do you want to reserve for the testing? Okay, give the percentage in decimal fraction. So 33% will be used for testing. And random set, this is a seed value, you can set it to any value. Okay, this is a seed value actually for randomization. Okay, so I will just copy this. So I am splitting my data set into two parts, x train, x test, y train, y test. Okay, so I will be using x train and y train for training, and I will be testing my model on x underscore test and y underscore test. Okay, so now what is my x? So x is this value. Okay, what is my y? Y is data frame of price, right? That column. I will be using let's say 30%. So test size is 0.3. Now here you can see train size is also there and test size is also there, and default is none. Okay, so entire data set will be used for the testing, but the default, the if train size is none, it will be set to 0.25. Okay, so by default testing size would be 25% if train size is set to none. Okay, so I am using 30% for testing. Random state you can set to anything. So done, right? Okay, so we have splitted data. So just, and I can show you. So x underscore train dot shape. Okay, so see, shape function will give me a shape of that array. Okay, the actual value was this one, right? Okay, so a equals to the value into 0.7. Okay, and okay, so we are getting that split, correct, right? I have printed a shape of training. We are using 70% for training, so 70% of this value is 15,000. Okay, so we have done the split of our data set. Okay, so we know that we have to create an object of my regressor, linear regression. Okay, so I have created that. Then I have to fit a data. Now here I have to use x train and y train, right, for fitting our model. Okay, so then I can use a score function for getting the r square error of my regressor. Okay, so let's run that. So now we have some error here. Expected 2D array and got 1D array. Yes. Okay, so same error we got yesterday also. So here what is the problem? When we are doing a trend test split, okay, yes, my linear regressor requires x to be a 2D array, but I am giving 1D array, so I have to use double square bracket here. Now this double square bracket, as I said earlier, will give me a column vector. I think now it will be resolved. Yes. The score is 0.49. Okay, so 50%, around 50% is the score. So this is our model using a single attribute. Okay, so now we can use multiple attributes, okay, for predicting a price. So till this point, do you have any doubt? So
No, sir.
steps are obvious, right? First I tried to understand the data set, okay, so which attributes I have to utilize, that I have tried to learn. Okay, I decided to go with one attribute, that is square feet living. I have seen its correlationship using this scatter plot. Okay, so they have a positive relationship and we have this score. Okay, now it is significant from this plot that, so I can plot my line here. Okay, so yes, so I can use my model, that is my regressor, to predict for my X test. Okay, so now my regressor is predicting value for my X test. Okay, now this is the predicted value, so underscore predicted. Okay, now this y underscore predicted minus y test, what is this value? Tell me.
Error.
Anyone else? Any other student? What is this? Is it accuracy or anything else? Tanushri? Do we have Amit here in the meeting? Amit? Vishwesh? What is this difference? Okay, Nivedita is saying error. Yes, it is error, right? Y test. Okay, this y test is coming from our data set, right? Okay, we have splitted our data set into part, that is training and testing. For this X test, these are the actual values which is present in our data set. And what is this y predicted? These are the values predicted by our regressor, our model, right? Okay, so this is the prediction and these are the actual value. So the difference between these two value will be our error. So I can just square it and do the sum of that. So I will get a sum of squared error, right? Okay, but I am not interested in that. I want to print or plot that line over here. Okay, so what I will do, I will use that object, that is plt dot plot will plot a line. Okay, the x-axis would be my x test and y-axis will be my y predicted. Okay, and if I say plt dot show, okay, so I have to plot my data also. I want that scatter. Okay, see, this is the regression line that we are getting. Okay, so there are points which are overlapped, that's why I think there is a high density here, that's why line is dragged downwards. Okay, so it is going through that point. Okay, so now, so I leave it to you, means how to identify the attributes. Okay, so I have demonstrated to you how to implement linear regression. Okay, simple linear regression, but you can do a multiple linear regression. Okay, so similar to this attribute, you find out a scatter for different attributes. Okay, and instead of giving a single attribute here, okay, so I can give, let's say I will show you square feet living, then I can give next attribute which I can give is uh, bedrooms. Bedrooms I can give, because there will be a positive relationship. Let's observe how it is correlated with bedrooms, but it is a categorical data, so we'll get a vertical line. Yes. Okay, so no, we cannot use bedrooms because that depends on sample, right? 5. Can we use bedrooms? Now what is my concern is, if okay, so means from the common sense we can infer that more number of bedrooms means more price. Okay, but do we have sufficient data for uh, when bedrooms equals to 10? No, we have only 2 samples, right? So that will create a problem. Okay, that's why I will not go with bedrooms. Next is, let's say we'll use lot. Okay, so I am demonstrating you is, what I am demonstrating is how to do multiple linear regression. Okay, so it is simple. So instead of giving one attribute, you give multiple attributes. Okay, so 2 columns will be there in that data frame. So then rest of the thing will remain same. Okay, so I have given 2. Okay, they are splitted. Then I am providing train and test. Okay, so I think that will do. My accuracy will be around same. Okay, there is no much change, and I can show the scatter of that. So I think the color is the attribute, color equals to blue for this, and I will use red for square feet lot. Oh, then plot. Okay, I will just comment this. This is the plot of this. Okay. Okay. So I think that x-axis value is creating a problem. Okay. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Okay. Then you can save this PDF. I think save as, download as PDF. Okay. I think this extension you have to add. By default, it will not be there. Okay. See the steps on Google how to add this extension. Okay, Jupyter notebook as PDF. Okay, and then you can download this as a PDF. Okay, and you have to submit this 2 files. You have to submit a PDF copy of this theory part and your actual notebook. Okay, so shall we stop here? Any doubt?